So we're going to wrap up units 3 and 4. Remember, to find rate of change on a table, you're going to subtract. So you can take those ordered pairs and turn them sideways. Remember that the top row is always the first column, and the second row is always the second column. Okay, and it doesn't matter which two you use. I'm just going to use the first two. So 0 minus -2 is a positive 2. 2 minus 8 is a -6. Bring that over, divide by 2, so -6 divided by 2 is a -3. So my slope, or my rate of change, is a -3. Number 2, the equation 4x minus 3y equals 6 involves a relationship between x and y. What is the rate of change of y? Now to find, first of all, if there's an equation, you always write it down. But if I want to find rate of change, I have to solve for y. I have to get y all by itself. So the very first thing I'm going to do is move 4x, so that becomes minus 4x. Okay, and that's gone. Now I need to divide everything by -3. So divide by -3. So y equals, and enter from the top, 6 divided by -3 is a -2. And then you have -4 divided by -3, which is a positive 4/3 x. Now the slope, or the rate of change, that's what rate of change is the slope, and the slope is always by x. So the number by x is positive 4/3. So my slope is positive 4/3, and it's very important that you pay attention to the signs, okay, because if you were to say negative, that would be wrong. What is the rate of change? So remember, rate of change is slope. Now, you have two ways to do this. You can either set up a table and look for order points, or you can do the rise over run, okay? I'm going to do the rise over run first, and then we'll double check it with some ordered pairs. But you can do either one. First of all, it is decreasing, so I know it's negative. I am going from this point, and I'm looking for two distinct points, okay? Now, I'm going to start with the one that I see first. So I'm starting from the left, I go down 2, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be, if I put that in, -1/2. So I think it's -1/2, so let's make sure. This -4 is in the x column, so I'm going to say -4, and since it's an intercept, my other number is 0. This -2 is in the y column, so -2 should go in the y. And then the other numbers is 0, since it's an intercept. Now I'm going to subtract. So 0 minus -4 is 4. -2 minus 0 is -2. Swing it over. -2 over 4 is indeed -1/2. If it is a bubble grid, you're going to need to change that to a decimal. So hit Control Enter and you get -0.5. If it's a bubble grid, you have to change it to a decimal. What is the 0 of function? Now remember, 0 of function is another name for x-intercept. So you have two ways to do this. One, you can graph it, okay? And then I can do the menu 5-1. So if you want to graph it, let's look at that. So I want to show you both, because some of you will remember one way, some of you remember it the other one. So -5x plus 2. Oops, wrong, plus 2, enter. And then if you say menu 5-1, now it comes up on the y-intercept. If I arrow over, see how that says 0? That stands for 0 function. So my x value is 0.4. So my x value is 0.4. Now, there's another way you can do it. So I can keep the x, and remember intercept means 0. So on my equation, f of x equals -5x plus 2. I'm going to keep my x, and the f of x becomes a 0. So 0 equals -5x plus 2. And then on a document page, I can hit (x) and do the menu 3-1. Now, does it matter to me which one you do it? Nope, it does not matter. So Control Doc, whichever way you remember is good. So I'm going to say menu 3-1. I have to put that 0 equals, and then you have -5x plus 2. And then you have to say (x), what you're solving for. Enter, and 0.4. you got the same answer. So it doesn't matter to me which way you do it. Either way is fine. On number 5, which graph shows an average rate of 60 miles per hour? So if you're not sure, set up your T-chart. It says rate. Remember, rate is slope. So I have some points. This is 0, 0, and I know this point is 20, 20. Okay, when I subtract, that's 20, 20 minus 0 is 20. Well, 20 divided by 20 is 1, so that doesn't work. Okay, set up this T-chart. 0, 0, and look for order pair. Oh, this is a good one. So 50, 60. So 50, 60. When I subtract, 50 minus 0 is 50. 60 minus 0 is 60. So 60 over 50. Well, 60 over 50, that doesn't work either, so it's not B. On C, you've got 0, 0, and look for order pair. Oh, this says 50 and 80. So I'm going to subtract 50. 80 minus 0 is 80. So 80 over 50. Nope, that doesn't work. On the last one, you have a T-chart, and this says 50, 70. So the one that says 60 minutes now, this one was 70 over 50. So I need to go back and look because I didn't come out and say 60 miles per hour. Oh, look what happened. It said per hour, and these all say what? Minutes. Oh, so be careful. Make sure you label. Because that's what some of you will see rate. You'll go around and start doing the rate. And then you're like, oh, none of them work. So go back and be careful. 60 miles per hour. An hour is 60 minutes. So 60 miles, 60 minutes. Now go back and look. Was there one that said 60 and 60? This one had 20 and 20. So this would be 40 and 40, 50 and 50. So that would also be 60 and 60. So 60 miles in 60 minutes. And 60 minutes is 1 hour. So it comes out that A is my answer. But a lot of students miss that because they don't read the labels. So be careful. Be careful. On number 6. How will the graph y equals 3x minus 4 change when the slope is changed to 5? So the slope is the one in front of x. So my new equation is going to be y equals 5x minus 4. Now I'm going to graph. The first one is going to be blue. The second one is going to be red. So 5x minus 4, go to a brand new document. Oops, sorry. No, don't want to. So you've got 3x minus 4, and that will come up in blue. And then you're going to do the second one, 5x minus 4. Enter. Now, how will it change? They still, menu 5-1, they still touch at the same place on the y-intercept. But the red one is steeper, okay? So how will it change? The red one, so the new line, because the red one, that's the new one. The new line is steeper. So it will become steeper, closer to the y-axis. How will the graph of y equals negative 2x minus 4, so this is your original, change when the slope, so the slope is negative 2. So I'm going to change negative 2 to 0.5. So my next one is going to be y equals 0.5x minus 4. Okay, so let's go to a brand new one. Always just like to start over on these graphs. So the original was negative 2x minus 4. That's my blue one. The second one is going to be y equals 0.5x minus 4. Now hit enter. Okay, so you can tell that they still touch at the same y-intercept. That's the same. But notice the blue one is closer to the y-axis. The red one is a lot flatter. So the new line is flatter. So the new is flatter. It's less steep. less steep. How will the graph y equals 1/3 x plus 2, so the original will be in blue, change when the slope is changed to 5/2. So the slope is going to become 5/2. So y equals 5/2 x plus 2. All right, so go to a new document, and we're going to change it. So we've got 1/3 x plus 2. Now, there's your blue line. The second one is going to be 5 divided by 2x plus 2. Now, I changed the slope, so it should be either flatter or steeper, and it should still go through the same y-intercept. So let's see. Yep, still goes through the same y-intercept. The red one is steeper. The new one is steeper. It's closer to the y-axis. It's closer to being vertical. So the new is steeper. How will the graph y equals 3x minus 4, that is going to be your blue line, change when -4 is changed to 3? So I'm going to change -4 to a 3. So now it's going to be y equals 3x plus 3. Now, the slope didn't change, but the y-intercept did. So remember, when they had the same slope, my lines should be parallel. And since I changed the y-intercept should adjust. I went from a -4 to a +3. So it should have moved up. So let's see. 3x plus 3. Enter. Okay, so my lines are parallel because they have the same slope. See, they both see 3x. So they have the same slope, they're parallel. Menu 5-1, it starts out on the original, which was -4 for my y-intercept. If I go up, it's now at +3. So it shifted up. The new line shifted up. Remember, when the y-intercept changes, it's a shift. And then the second one says, how will the graph y equals -1/2 minus 1 change when the y-intercept, so the y-intercept is -1, it's going to change to -7. So this is going to be y equals -1/2 x minus 7. Now, the slope did not change. So remember, if the slopes are the same, it should be parallel. So we want to see if they're going to be parallel. And I went from -1 to a -7. So it should go down. -1. And then I have -1/2 x minus 7. Hit enter. Okay, they are parallel. Hit menu 5-1. It's going to start at the original. Now, the red line is below it, so go down, and I did shift down. So it shifted, the new shifted down. Remember, we use the word shift when the y-intercept changes. A sequence is represented by the function 12 minus 7x. What are the first 3 terms? So anytime you're given an equation and you want to find the first 3 terms, all you have to do is graph it. Okay? So I'm just going to go to a brand new document, and this is the last one. I'm going to graph 12 minus 7x. Enter, and then go to Control T. Your first 3 terms are 5, -2, and -9. Oops. 5, -2, -9. And that's the wrap up on Unit 3 and Unit 4.